face lay on the floor and smiled, explaining about his brother that he was very smart, he would soon receive an appointment in the capital, and this could happen even tomorrow. The brown-haired man, with a dumbfounded look, bulged his eyes and explained that then he would leave this place. Sarazad immediately raised her eyebrows with a pitiful look when they began to slander her about her lover. Under the cover of the light of the night moon, Julian sat in the room and was sad that Sarazad would leave. At the same time, the princess was sitting in her room under the light of the moon and thought that she would never be able to see him again. Lloyd was tapping his finger on the table in anticipation. Julian went down the hallway to find Sarazad, because he did not want such a departure. The brunette at that moment also came out into the hallway with a sad look and had to tell him everything. In anticipation of this meeting, Lloyd sat like a baron on a chair with an arrogant look. At the same moment, Kuga stood in an empty forest clearing. He heard a crunch and looked back intently. The younger brother, with a pitiful look, pressed his hand to his chest and realized that if he did not tell her about his feelings, he would regret it. At that moment, the princess was standing on the other side of the door and felt the same. Kuga looked back and saw Emily smiling happily, and she explained that she came here because her brother asked her to. The sergeant and his comrades immediately began to run out of the forest to attack. The orcs happily wanted to take on this fight. At that moment, the protagonist's parents looked into the corridor in surprise. They saw Sarazad in front of them, sitting on her knees with her hands folded. Emily pressed herself against Kuga's chest, who was in shock. The sergeant smiled happily and was about to snap his fingers, saying that Kuga and Emily would now be a couple that day. All the guys immediately began to throw flowers and rejoice when the brunette pressed herself against the orc. Sarazad pressed herself to the floor, stretching out her arms and bowing so that they would give her youngest son. At that moment, the protagonist held the corn between his fingers and smiled maliciously, because even the queen would not be able to defeat him. It was a huge castle in a mountain gorge under the demonic light of the moon. It was the ancient castle of the dark mage Targas, where Alicia arrived with her knights. She raised her hand in leather